The US President Donald Trump is reportedly turning up pressure on Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu. Trump has asked Netanyahu to redeploy his Israeli troops and to move them out of Lebanon and Syria. According to a report published by Axios, the exchange took place last week when the American president and the Israeli Prime Minister held a phone call. Now, Trump is pressing Netanyahu on Lebanon and Syria at a time when Israel is now headed for a high-stakes election this October. Netanyahu has been arguing in favor of occupying territories as buffer zones. The argument put forth by Bibi that his move is necessary to protect Israel from another 7th of October-like attack. Domestically, his alliance partners are pressing him to keep the indefinite control over occupied Lebanese and Syrian territories. The report cites US officials who claim that Trump has now told Netanyahu to pull back his forces as continued occupation is creating tensions and could lead to an escalation. Interestingly, the call took place the day after the US president held a meeting with his Syrian counterpart Ahmed al-Shara on the sidelines of the NATO summit. So let's take a look as to what areas Israel has occupied in Lebanon and in Syria. In Lebanon, Israel has occupied southern areas. The IDF is now positioned 10 kilometers inside of the internationally recognized borders. And despite the mounting pressure from Washington, Netanyahu has refused to withdraw forces from southern Lebanon. The US-mediated negotiations between Israel and Lebanon are taking place in Rome, and both sides have now agreed for a framework of partial withdrawal of Israeli forces, and the arrangement is called pilot zones, where Israeli forces will withdraw and the Lebanese army will be deployed. But the framework is yet to be implemented. Now, moving on to Syria, where the Israeli forces have occupied the Golan Heights from Syria during the 1967 Six-Day War and later annexed it after the 1973 Yom Kippur War. The United Nations created buffer zones between Israeli-occupied Golan Heights and the adjoining Syria-controlled territory when Bashar al-Assad was overthrown in 2024. The Israeli forces have moved further in and occupied the UN-controlled buffer zone. The United States has kept Israel out of its renewed military strikes against Iran. According to a report by CNN, the Trump administration fears that the Israeli involvement in the latest confrontation could escalate the situation, fueling speculation about withering trust between both the leaders. Now, Trump in the past has publicly admitted to his anger against Bibi, but the Israeli leader has always maintained that both leaders are still close friends. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.